Hi, I am Mali. Have a look at these images. Extremely long prompts are a thing of the past. And you no longer actually need to use long and descriptive prompts. From my experience, I understood that the art style matters more than the length of the prompt. I used a particular art style for each of these images. And yes, all of them are done in Blue Willow. Let me show you how. In this video, I will focus on 6 specific art styles and use them in several prompts. I will, of course, show you the prompts for each of them, but importantly, for this episode, I will focus on the art term and style. Once you understand the specific art terminology, you can up your prompt engineering skills by using them creatively. Learning the art style is way more important than the prompt itself. So let's get started. The first art style that we will be looking at is called Pointillism. Pointillism was developed in the late 19th century by 2 French artists, Georges Seurat and Paul Signac. Pointillism is an art technique where instead of using brushstrokes or lines to create pictures, artists use tiny dots of color. These dots are incredibly close to each other, and when you look at the art from a distance, you can see the whole image as one. Your eyes mix and match the small, colorful dots. Think of it as if you were looking at a puzzle up close and from far away. The image on the left is semi-pointillism. If you look closely, the background is entirely made up of dots, which overflows slightly towards her clothing. But the main subject is just brushstroke painting. I did not define the style of pointillism in the prompt. So, the AI just randomly generated and picked this style. The prompt for the image is an intricate pointillism artwork of a mesmerizing femme fatale, with stunning details created through carefully placed dots. The artwork captures her mysterious allure, with a mix of light and shadow enhancing her captivating features. This prompt was long and unnecessary. I will show you some examples of where we can shorten this and get better results. Now, have a look at this portrait image. The dots are varied in size. And if you view it at a little more distance, you can see fewer dots. That's precisely what pointillism is. When you are defining the prompt, you can specify the art style size by using terminology like maximum pointillism, semi-pointillism, or even anti-pointillism. The image on the left is maximal pointillism. The term maximal pointillism is a bit different. Here, the artist typically uses more dots instead of a few dots to create the artwork. Anti-pointillism is where some artists like Conrad Bow and Robert Delaunay have experimented with techniques that are similar to pointillism, but they are not actually pointillism because they have a different effect altogether. The prompt for this one is short and simple and goes as maximal pointillism, mesmerizing portrait art. So, I got better results with a shorter and more precise prompt than the more extended prompt used previously. Let's check out the next image. You can also use this technique for abstract art. You can make the prompts a bit longer only if you want more control, but make sure to be precise. By precise, I mean defining the colors and gender, whether it's a painting or illustration, landscape, and style within the subject you define. Here, I use the prompt abstract pointillism, realistic painting. You can extend this prompt by defining the colors and the abstract styles, for example, spirals, waves, geometric shapes, etc. This is also a short prompt. Butterfly, pointillism painting, beautiful colors. Here, I defined that I wanted the image in a painting style rather than an illustration. If I had not included the word painting, the AI would have gone about generating random styles. And since it's a butterfly, I just went with beautiful colors to get a colorful image. This is another portrait image, but the art style is minimalistic pointillism. As the name suggests, you use this terminology to get fewer dots and a simple, minimal overall look. This is also used where you would want the areas of the image untouched. You can see on the left the background is plain, and only the portrait has dots. The prompt is Minimalistic Pointillism, Mesmerizing Portrait Art. You can also use this technique for landscapes. Here, the prompt is Pointillism, Paradise Island. I have not defined anything, but feel free to experiment and be more specific. Pointillism, Volcanic Landscape, Illustration. Here is another example of a landscape in this technique. Let's move on to the next art style. The next art style is called Fauvism. Fauvism emerged in France. The Fauve, which means wild beast in French, were a group of artists who rejected the traditional, naturalistic approach to painting in favor of a more expressive and subjective style. The central aspect of this art style is the coloring. Unnatural, bold, wild, vivid, bright, and standing out colors are used. Instead of using the typical colors like brown for the tree bark and branches and blue for the sky, in Fauvism, you would choose a blue tree, purple grass, pink ocean, orange sun, and so on. Basically, emotionally exciting, happy, and surprising colors. Besides the colors, artists sometimes even used brush strokes to be expressive to give an energetic look and feel. The Swiss Alps, landscape painting, Fauvism. This is a fascinating style. Let's look at another image. A pirate painting, in the style of Fauvism. You can see the boldness of the colors here. A flower vase, simple, Fauvism style. Feel free to define the color style as well. You can also define a light brush stroke in the prompt if it is too bold. For example, I changed the prompt to a flower vase, simple, Fauvism style, only blue colors. Harley Quinn looks perfect when using this style. I bet you can do an awesome Joker in this style as well. Harley Quinn, Fauvism style, close-up, cartoon, minimalism. And here is the same prompt, but with the Joker as the subject. Venice houses, in the style of Fauvism. Colorful and bold. Award-winning, interior master bedroom, in the style of Fauvism. I don't know why I have a terrible habit of using the word award-winning in interior design. You can ignore that, and it will still give you great images when using it with the Fauvism art style. Still life, light brush strokes, minimalistic, in the style of Fauvism. For this one, I used light brush strokes in the prompt to check if it affected the image or not, and it did. Pop art emerged in the USA and UK around the mid to late 1950s. It was all about taking everyday things that you can see and turning them into art. Neo-pop art is a modern version of the traditional pop art. Bright, bold colors and shapes are used here. This art style is quite fun to play around with as it turns out colorful and exciting images. The prompt for the image is woman, glasses, neo-pop art, splashing colors. Same style but with a male. Man, clean-shaved, curly hair, neo-pop art, splashing colors. This is from one of my favorite TV shows. 3D illustration, neo-pop art, Breaking Bad, Heisenberg. Everyone seems to be doing Elon Musk in AI nowadays, so I thought, let's give it a shot. 2D illustration neo-pop art, Elon Musk. You see what I did there? I made him in 2D. Only my favorite characters are made in 3D. Neo-pop art, cat. So cute. Mwah. I wanted to see if I could do a cityscape in this style. Neopop art, Manhattan, 1920s. And this last one is my favorite in the entire video. R2D2, 1970s, Neopop art, retro. The next art style is called Chiaroscuro, which means light and dark in Italian. The artist used this style to create strong shadows and high contrast between the light and dark areas of the artwork. It was first used by Leonardo da Vinci, Raphael, and Caravaggio to create a sense of drama and intensity in their paintings. Rembrandt and Rubens also used to create a dramatic and emotional effect in their paintings. Besides, you can use this to give depth and volume to the art. Wine glass, chiaroscuro art style. You can clearly see the shades of light and dark, which are intensified, and the high contrast. With this style, you can create some dark fantasy artwork, including horror. A darkened room, with clowns faintly seen in silhouette, chiaroscuro art style. Female portrait, chiaroscuro art style. In this image, you can see how prominent the rays of the light from the window and the darker areas of the room are. You can intensify these further with Photoshop. A children's room, chiaroscuro art style. Mother reading a book to a girl, chiaroscuro art style. Even though this is an illustration, the lighting is entirely different when using this style. Dark shadow figure, caught on camera, chiaroscuro art style. I think this is one of the best examples of this art style. Dog, Tim Burton, forest, artistic brush strokes, chiaroscuro art style. Whenever you want a dark theme, use Tim Burton. His movies are pretty famous for that. He even directed the horror comedy Wednesday, which was a big hit on Netflix last year. The depth and volume in the surroundings and the contrast on the dog are excellent. Steampunk gives a retro-futuristic aesthetics to the image. It's inspired by the steam-powered machinery from the Industrial Revolution, but with futuristic technology. When you use this style correctly, you can create stunning imagery with intricate details. Frank Paul was an American illustrator who is considered to be one of the pioneers of steampunk art. He created many iconic images of steampunk airships, robots, and ray guns. Rabbit, Industrial City, steampunk art. Treehouse, Desolated Planet, steampunk art. This one was a bit difficult. Whatever I was using, I was not getting what I wanted. So I remember a game I loved playing a long time back called BioShock. It has that steampunk theme to it. So, I included it in the prompt, and it gave me beautiful images. An aquarium, inspired by BioShock, fishes, ray-traced lighting, steampunk art. You can see some Alice in Wonderland details in this cake. A birthday cake, Alice in Wonderland, steampunk art. Here, I mixed anime with steampunk. Got some interesting results. Female portrait, manga anime, steampunk art. Very happy with this one. Robot, creative, cogwheels, steampunk art. The last one in this art style is just cool. I wanted to try one of the Ninja Turtles, but I just went with a turtle. Turtle in steampunk art. Well, I lied. I couldn't resist myself. This is the last one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, Michelangelo, in steampunk art. The last art style is BioArt, which is kinda of a weird one. BioArt is basically a mix between science and artistry. If you ask ChatGPT, what is BioArt? Well, it will tell you that BioArt is when artists use living things like plants, bacteria, and even cells to make their art. Well, that's not exactly true. You can do bizarre and creative art with it. The image you see on the left is the simplest one, as ChatGPT defines for this art style. The prompt is complicated, though, and I could not simplify the prompt for this specific one. But I do get creative as I progress. BioArt illustration of an enchanting leaf cell, under a microscope, detailed architecture of the cell wall, vibrant organelles, like mitochondria and vacuoles, green chloroplasts, and all the other organelles of the leaf cell. Mesmerizing dance of molecules. I personally find this one downright bizarre, although it might be appreciated as art by some. Bacterial fusion with humans, contemporary color scheme, light brush strokes, BioArt style. Fusion of art and biology, BioArt style painting. Well, this one turned out to be decent. Portrait of a model, illustration, hybrid, vivid colored, coral design on face, BioArt. This is where I start getting slightly creative. I am still playing around with living things. Illuminating tree, large and center, moonlight, BioArt style, intricate details, light brush strokes, genetic fusion. Chair made of plant growth patterns, BioArt. Now, I am mixing scientific, non-living things with humans and using it in BioArt style. Female portrait crystallized in salt, BioArt composition. And I did the same with sugar and got 2 excellent results. Female portrait crystallized in colorful sugar, BioArt composition. That's all for this second episode. I will have some more unique art styles for you in the next episode. All this was done in Blue Willow, and the video proves that you can do some amazing stuff with Blue Willow using the prompts creatively and in the right way. The prompts and art styles showcased are very specific to Blue Willow because what may work in one AI generative art tool may not work in the same way for another generative art tool. But feel free to try and let me know your views on these 6 art styles in the comments below. If you haven't watched the first episode, you can go and check that one out from the channel. I hope this video was helpful and you got to learn something new. If yes, I would really appreciate a like and a subscribe. It helps the channel, and also, thank you for the support given so far. It means a lot to us and keeps us motivated to release videos every week. Until next time.